every major moment in the Brown family's history has been documented on high-definition cameras, edited for maximum drama and broadcast to millions worldwide. We've witnessed births, moving days, catfishing scandals, and countless weddings. We endured the chaos of Maddie's wedding in the woods, the awkward frozen tacos and panadas at McKelty's celebration, and the fairy tale splendor of Aspen's grand event. But when it came to the eldest son, the so-called crown prince of the family, the man who practically raised his siblings while his father was courting a fourth wife, the cameras disappeared. Logan Brown's wedding was arguably the most highly anticipated event in the show's history. And yet, there was no TLC crew, no broadcast, no drama captured for viewers. The official story given to the public was that Logan and his wife Michelle wanted privacy. They supposedly wanted a quiet, intimate ceremony away from the reality TV circus. On the surface, it sounds reasonable, respectful even, but anyone paying attention to this family knows that privacy often carries a hidden meaning. Insider reports, leaked photos, and a careful examination of the family's behavior leading up to the wedding reveal a much darker truth. This wasn't about modesty. It was a tactical move designed for one purpose: to neutralize Kody Brown. The absence of cameras was a deliberate strategy, a silent gag order preventing Kody from taking center stage at his firstborn son's wedding. Looking at past weddings, a pattern emerges. Kody Brown has an obsession not just with polygamy, but with attention. At every daughter's wedding, he positioned himself as the main attraction. Remember Maddie's wedding? The way he turned the officiating into a spectacle of his own spiritual struggle? Or McKelty's, where he made everyone uncomfortable with bizarre commentary? Kody treats these events as performances, not celebrations. Logan, however, is different. He has always been observant, responsible, and aware of his father's patterns. Sources close to production suggest Logan and Michelle made the decision early. If TLC filmed the wedding, Kody would inevitably become the star. The network reportedly offered a massive budget, rumored to be $50,000 or more, along with exposure and vendor deals. Most reality TV kids would accept such an offer, but Logan declined not just the money, but the strings attached. By refusing TLC, Logan took away the stage an audience Kody thrives on. He removed the opportunity for Kody to perform, deliver speeches, and manipulate the narrative. Reports suggest Kody even expected to officiate the ceremony, seeing himself as the spiritual leader of the family. Logan hired a professional instead, marking the first major strike against Kody's authority. When Kody realized he wouldn't be giving a father of the groom speech, or even allowed to speak at all, the silence reportedly hit hard. Without the cameras, producers, or microphone, Kody was relegated to a mere guest, stripped of control. Financially, Logan and Michelle appear to have funded the wedding themselves. By doing so, they ensured independence from both TLC and Kody. Whoever pays the piper calls the tune, and Logan wanted to call his own. By spending their own money, they bought privacy, autonomy, and the power to enforce the unspoken gag order. The visual evidence from leaked photos reinforces this. The seating chart alone tells a story. Typically, a father of the groom sits front and center, flanked by wives. But at Logan's wedding, Kody was isolated. Christine and Janelle held prominent positions. Mary sat with family. Kody and Robin were seated on the periphery, neither in the front nor in a position of influence. Even the presence of private security reportedly served to monitor Kody, ensuring he wouldn't disrupt the event. Robin, often a co-conspirator with Kody, was also kept at a distance. Her attempts to influence the wedding, from dress advice to planning input, were shut down. Sources suggest Kody had prepared remarks for a father-son toast, likely filled with thinly veiled critiques of his ex-wives and warnings about loyalty. That opportunity never came. Kody was silenced. Candid photos from guests reveal Kody's discomfort. He looked sour and uneasy, a man forced to watch the family celebrate without him. He was no longer the center of attention. Meanwhile, Christine shone at the reception, radiant and celebrated. While the children rallied around Logan, for Kody, it was a humiliating reversal. The gag order extended beyond the wedding itself. Without cameras, everyone was free to interact naturally. Younger siblings could enjoy themselves, guests could breathe, and no one was forced into awkward on-camera moments. Kody's usual influence, amplified by the show's cameras and producers, was nullified. The result, a joyful, authentic wedding environment that Kody could not control. Even small details reinforced his diminished status. He was seated several rows back, unable to command the room. His signature dance moves were absent. Reports suggest he and Robin left early, unable to endure the reality of their lack of influence. The wedding gifts, too, were reportedly underwhelming. a reflection of Kody's transactional mindset. He had no reason to impress without control. This strategic gag order was also a message. Logan set a precedent for the rest of the family. Important life events do not have to revolve around the show or Kody. The older kids are now more private, proving they can live outside the sister-wives bubble. Kody, of course, perceives this as a threat. His loss of control threatens both his ego and his financial influence. Michelle deserves recognition in all this. She enforced the no-drama clause, ensuring that if Kody attempted to disrupt the wedding, the music would drown him out, the microphone would be cut, and Logan's day would remain protected. Logan may have had the moral authority to say no, but Michelle had the power to operationalize it. She ensured the patriarch could not hijack the event. Logan's wedding was a blueprint. Later events, like Gwendolyn's wedding, followed a similar pattern with even less Kody involvement. Logan proved that privacy is power and dignity outweighs a TLC paycheck. By denying Kody a platform, Logan redefined the family dynamic. The OG kids, along with Christine, Janelle, and Mary, now form the core of the family, leaving Kody and Robin increasingly isolated. Even minor details, guest interactions, seating arrangements, and unscripted moments underscored the family's division. The reception reportedly began in earnest only after Kody and Robin left. The laughter, dancing, and joy flourished once the patriarch's presence was neutralized. Logan's wedding was more than a ceremony. It was a silent revolution. By cutting the cameras, denying Kody a microphone, and asserting control over the day, Logan demonstrated the extent of his autonomy. He showed that the show does not define the family, and that control can be reclaimed without confrontation. Looking ahead, the effects are clear. Kody is more frustrated and desperate than ever, attempting to reassert dominance through material control and loyalty tests. Logan's wedding was a turning point, showing that privacy, planning, and careful strategy can protect family, dignity, and joy even from the most controlling patriarch. Logan and Michelle's decision created a lasting impact, a family event where the children, wives, and friends could celebrate authentically, without fear of manipulation or exploitation. It proved that sometimes, the most powerful act is simply to mute the narcissist and let life continue without them. This was the story of Logan Brown's wedding, the day the eldest son claimed his independence, the day the patriarch lost his voice, and the quiet coup that shifted the balance of power in the Brown family. Every major moment in the Brown family's history has been captured on high-definition cameras, edited for drama and broadcast to millions. We've seen births, moves, scandals, and weddings. Maddie's chaotic woodland wedding, McKelty's awkward frozen taco reception, Aspen's fairy tale celebration. These events were all filmed. But when it came to the eldest son, Logan Brown, the cameras vanished. Logan's wedding was arguably the most anticipated event in the show's history. Yet, there was no TLC crew, no broadcast, and no storyline for viewers to watch. The official story? Logan and Michelle wanted privacy and intimate ceremony away from the reality TV circus. On the surface, it sounds reasonable, but anyone following this family closely knows that privacy often means more than it seems. Insiders, leaked photos, and careful observation suggest the truth was darker. This was a strategic move to neutralize Kody Brown. The absence of cameras was a silent gag order. Logan wasn't just avoiding attention, he was controlling the environment to prevent his father from dominating the wedding. Kody has always craved the spotlight. At every daughter's wedding, he made himself the star, turning ceremonies into performances centered on his own spiritual struggles and ego. Logan, however, is different. He's observant, responsible, and aware of how his father operates. Reports indicate that Logan and Michelle decided early, if TLC filmed the wedding, Kody would become the center of attention. The network allegedly offered a massive budget rumored to be $50, zero or more, along with exposure and free vendor services. Most reality TV kids would take that in a heartbeat, but Logan declined. Not just the money, he refused the strings attached. By refusing TLC, Logan removed the stage and audience Kody thrives on. Without the cameras, Kody couldn't deliver a speech, perform for the crowd, or control the narrative. Logan stripped him of power. Kody reportedly expected to officiate the wedding, believing that as the father of the groom and spiritual head of the family, it was his right. Logan hired a professional instead, immediately challenging Kody's authority. Then came the speeches. Kody had likely prepared remarks, thinly veiled critiques of ex-wives or lessons about loyalty, but he never got the chance. By banning cameras and refusing TLC, Logan effectively removed Kody's platform. He wasn't a star, he was just a guest. Financially, Logan and Michelle appear to have funded most of the wedding themselves. By paying their own way, they ensured independence. Whoever funds an event controls the narrative, and Logan wanted full control. TLC's cameras and money would have automatically given Kody influence. Logan's choice guaranteed that the day belonged to him and Michelle, not his father. Leaked photos show how this played out visually. The seating chart alone told a story. Normally, the father of the groom sits front and center, flanked by wives. But at Logan's wedding, Kody was pushed to the periphery. Christine and Janelle held prominent positions, Mary sat with other family members, and Kody and Robin were relegated to what insiders call general population. Even private security reportedly kept an eye on Kody, ensuring he didn't disrupt the event. Robin, often a co-conspirator with Kody, was also sidelined. She reportedly tried to influence the planning, from dress choices to decorations, but her input was shut down. Without her guidance, Kody had no ally to manipulate the day. The gag order extended beyond cameras. It affected real-time social control. The photos reveal Kody's discomfort. He looks sour, uneasy, and clearly aware he isn't in charge. Meanwhile, Christine shines at the reception, celebrated by family and friends alike. Logan's siblings rally around him. For Kody, it's a humiliating reversal. The father, once the center, reduced to an observer. This strategic gag order allowed the wedding to feel authentic. Guests could interact naturally, younger siblings could enjoy themselves, and awkward moments weren't forced for TV. Kody's usual influence, amplified by cameras and producers, was gone. The result was joy, celebration, and a rare event free from his control. Even small details reinforced Kody's diminished status. He was seated several rows back, not in the traditional front row position reserved for parents. His signature, frantic dance moves were absent. Reports suggest that Kody and Robin left early, before the final songs played, unable to endure the reality of their lack of influence. The wedding gift, too, was reportedly underwhelming, a reflection of Kody's transactional mindset. Without control, he had no reason to impress. This gag order was more than just a restriction, it was a message. Logan established a blueprint for the rest of the family. Life events do not have to revolve around the show or Kody. The older kids are taking note, choosing privacy over exposure. Kody, of course, sees this as a threat. His loss of control undermines both his ego and his influence, which has long been tied to the show. Michelle played a crucial role in enforcing the no-drama rule. She ensured that if Kody attempted to take over, the music would drown him out. Microphones would be cut, and Logan's day would remain protected. Logan may have had the moral authority to say no, but Michelle operationalized it. She ensured the patriarch could not hijack the event. Leaked photos and videos from the reception tell a story of joy and liberation. Christine danced in the center of the circle, radiant and celebrated. While the children rallied around Logan, guests mingled freely, without the fear of awkward producer-driven moments. Once Kody and Robin left, the atmosphere became even more relaxed. The real party began only after the patriarch departed. Logan's wedding was a quiet revolution. By cutting cameras, denying Kody a microphone, and controlling every detail, Logan proved that privacy equals power. He showed that family events can be joyful without the interference of the show or the patriarch's ego. The ripple effects are clear. Kody is now more frustrated and desperate, trying to regain control through financial and social manipulation. Logan's wedding was the turning point. It demonstrated that autonomy, careful planning, and clear boundaries can protect family and dignity even from a controlling father. This wedding wasn't just a celebration, it was a statement. By muting the narcissist, Logan allowed the family to enjoy the day authentically. It was the day the eldest son claimed his independence, the day the patriarch lost his voice, and the day a quiet coup reshaped the family dynamic forever. The aftermath of Logan's wedding exposed the full impact of the gag order. Kody, stripped of his stage, had no platform to assert control. He could no longer dominate conversations, redirect attention, or orchestrate family moments for the cameras. For a narcissist, this was devastating. For the family, it was liberating. Guests reported that social interactions during the reception naturally segregated into groups. The OG kids, those raised by Christine, Janelle, and Mary, naturally gravitated together. Robin's children remained with her, without producers pushing interactions for drama. The divisions that Kody once tried to mask became visible. This revealed a deeper truth: the family had already splintered, and Logan's wedding simply made it undeniable. Kody's attempts to influence his sons near the bar reportedly failed. Garrison, Gabriel, and other older kids employed the gray rock approach: unresponsive, neutral, and unengaged. Kody had no audience, no leverage, and no cameras to manipulate. He was forced to face the reality: his children do not need him as the patriarch. Christine's presence at the reception further highlighted Kody's diminished status. She was celebrated, admired, and embraced by the family, while Kody could only sit and observe. For someone who views life as a zero-sum game, this was intolerable. Every moment of joy for others became a mirror reflecting his failures. The gag order ensured that Kody could not spin the story or reclaim control. Logan's strategic planning extended beyond the ceremony. Vendor agreements, security protocols, and event logistics all reinforced the boundaries. Photographers were instructed not to sell images. DJs were told not to hand microphones to unauthorized speakers. And security was briefed to monitor Kody. Every aspect of the wedding was designed to protect Logan, Michelle, and the family from interference. This deliberate containment had long-term consequences. Kody's frustration and attempts to regain control now dominate season 19. His anger toward Janelle, Christine, and others is a direct response to the humiliation he experienced. Logan's wedding created a blueprint for autonomy. Family events can exist outside of TLC's control, free from Kody's influence. The wedding also demonstrated the value of financial independence. Logan and Michelle declined TLC's alleged $50,000 offer, refusing to trade autonomy for money. This decision emphasized that dignity, privacy, and control were more valuable than exposure or cash. It was a conscious rebellion against a system that rewards narcissistic behavior. Ultimately, Logan's wedding reshaped the Brown family hierarchy. Kody was no longer the center. The OG3 kids and their mothers now hold influence. Robin, tethered to Kody, was demoted from manipulative strategist to mere guest. The gag order ensured that the day was authentic, joyful, and empowering for the family, while simultaneously humiliating the patriarch. This event was more than a wedding. It was a strategic masterstroke, a quiet revolution that demonstrated the power of boundaries, independence, and tactical planning. Logan Brown and Michelle orchestrated a day that celebrated love and family, while neutralizing the toxic influence of a controlling father. It was the day the firstborn took control, the day the cameras lost their power, and the day Kody Brown finally realized that he was no longer in charge.